Moose is a US-based company. So we are located in the US, but across more than 50 countries already. So that's quite nice. And Moose is a platform designed specifically for online music teaching. So if you are teaching online or if you like thinking about starting, you're definitely in the right place here with us. Carlos, would you mind to share with us a bit more about yourself? Like you're a great guitarist, right? Producer?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working more than 20 years already as a professional guitarist, producer, and music teacher. I already create my online music school, before I came to the UK, and I've been teaching for about 17 years using
Wow.
all the platforms, and I
Yeah.
started even earlier, but online, basically, I've been teaching for over 17 years. So I started, many, many years ago, because basically what happened that very similar as Monica mentioned, I was doing face-to-face lessons, and at some point, some of my students, when I was living in Madrid, they were leaving the city, so they basically proposed me to continue doing online lessons. So that was when I started thinking about different platforms and different kind of setups. And then back to before COVID, I was increasing the activity as well. But then definitely during COVID period was the time where I was looking for other kind of better options in terms of
Yeah.
apps, and that was when I found Moose. So I started using Moose, um, and I was amazed by the features, especially as the multi-camera option is probably one
Yeah.
of my favorites, and all, not just for me, but also for my students, because they are able to see every single angle when I'm playing. Also, the sync mode is pretty amazing. The metronome, all the stuff that we're gonna be checking today, but especially the video quality and the sound quality is amazing compared with other platforms. So yeah, I can't wait to show you more.
Great. Lovely. So we will explore a bit more about how it works. We will do a quick walkthrough of the platform. But Carlos, I would like to know from you, what were like some of the biggest challenges that you faced using other platforms compared to Moose?
Sure. The main thing was the lack of knowledge, or the lack of not just of knowledge from the student, but also the difficulty that they found setting up other platforms. Whether Moose is pretty straightforward, it does everything almost automatically for you. You just need to start the app, and by following all the instructions, it's pretty easy to set it up, the input source and the output source from your device. So this is something that I've been experiencing with the students since I started using Moose. They basically did it very, very quickly, with no issues at all, no troubleshooting and all this stuff that it really happened many, many times when I was using other apps. And also the sound quality and the video quality, I really noticed a really good improvement since I started using Moose. And also the students as well, all this lack of noise canceling problems, that we have been experienced, doing like a video calls. So with the lessons, it was even worse, because I couldn't hear properly the student, they couldn't hear me properly. And this is something that I really appreciate since I started using Moose.
Lovely. So,
Thank you.
uh, yeah, that's good to know. So Moose were designed like specific for music and not for meetings. So I think that's the main difference between the platforms. But let me go ahead here. Okay, so now I'll show you a quick example about the sound quality difference between Moose and other platforms. For example, in this case, it is Zoom, but it could be any platform. So there's nothing, just a highlight here because there's nothing wrong with those platforms. They are actually very good. I'm using Zoom right now for this webinar. So the point is that they weren't built for online music teaching. They will be used for meetings, and I think that's the difference. So let me go ahead and play. Let me know if you can hear this, please.
Okay.
And you're before. Good look in the eye. Just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry.
All right. I don't know if you could notice anything.
Yeah, this is one of the issues that I've been experiencing, before I started using Moose. I can tell that the threshold of all these other apps basically is too sensitive, and it works only for the vocals, for the voice, for the human voice, but unfortunately it doesn't work for instruments. That's why we see all these kind of discrepancies with the audio, with the voice, and that lack of volume from the instrument.
Yeah, because they recognize like these extra sounds as a like background sound, so they
That's right.
are muted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's why. So let me go ahead here. So in the platform, we will able to see brief like let me show you this. Okay, so in the platform you can adjust the tempo and the pitch in real time. You can play backing tracks and accompaniments. So you have a cloud storage where you can put your materials there, whether it is a MP3 files or materials, as PDF images, and you can adjust the tempo and the beat with the built-in metronome, which works really well. And you can also connect the MIDI keyboard to a piano. You, Monica, as a piano teacher, I think you're gonna like this feature a lot, because you can connect the virtual piano via USB or a MIDI keyboard directly on your laptop. So works really well. So now it is the time for a demo. So Carlos will be showing you how the platform works. And we are doing this using Zoom because currently Moose doesn't support group lessons. So that's why we're using Zoom right now. But we have plans. So we are still developing these, perhaps by the end of the summer. But we are all working a lot in many improvements and new features. But the platform is working in its fully development. So works really well. And now I'll leave it with Carlos because he's brilliant at these. And
Thank you.
Carlos.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. So let me share my screen. I'm gonna show you how the app works and how easy is set it up, everything only in a few seconds. Okay, let me see. Can you see my screen now? Okay,
Yes,
fantastic. So I'm gonna just minimize our cameras just for now. So this is the main window as soon as we start the app. So from the bottom right, we have the support chat, so we can ask any question here, and we're gonna be replied by real people, which is amazing. We were testing, as you know, Anna, a few weeks ago during one webinar, and Natalia just replied to us. So this is something that I really value compared with other platforms where the support is kind of tricky, if you have any issue. And actually, I can confirm that because some of my colleagues from other teachers, they already joined the subscription, the Moose subscription. They have been asking questions about their setups, and they have been getting support. So that's something that I really value as a teacher, and also for my students too. So that's the chat that we have here, and then we're gonna see these 4 options here in the middle. So we're gonna have, starting from the bottom right, the profile, where basically we can fill our details, the plans, we have the free one, the professional, and the advanced. We can get through all this with Anna a little bit later. Then the settings, they are pretty easy. Basically, we can create like an invitation, like a personal invitation link for each student, or we can just use our name as a teacher or the school name, whatever we want. Then we can set it up the way that we're going to be using the app, if we're going to be using as a teacher or as a student, the subjects. We can see more information about the app version, change the password, all the basics. They're going to be located here. And then if we go back, then from the bottom left, we have a folder which basically is going to allow us to upload any content that we may want to share with our student. It could be, as Anna mentioned earlier, a backing track, a music score. In my case, for guitar, it could be like a neck diagram. Whatever we want to share with the students is going to be located here. So this is going to allow us to open the file very, very quickly while we are doing the lesson. Then if I go back, then on top of those options here, we have the start lesson or join lesson. So the start lesson is the one that I'm going to be showing you today, because this is the option that we will be using as a teachers. But for the students, just to show you, they just need to click here and they can paste our link and they can join the lesson straight away. So as a teachers, we're going to be using this one. And this is the first window that we're going to be looking at. So from this menu, as you can see, we have below the camera image, we have the camera that we're going to be using, so we can set it up. I have 3 physical cameras, so we could use this one or any other that I will show you later. The microphone, we can set it up like a analog microphone, or if we are using an audio interface as I'm using right now, we just need to select the audio interface name. And then as a speaker, of course, we can use any external output signal. It could be the same audio interface that we are using or the default speaker. Okay, so I'm gonna join the lesson now to start right now. And then this is the next window that we're gonna be looking at. So this is all automatically. Basically, this is gonna pop in as soon as we are starting the lesson. This is how it works basically. So it's detecting the input signal that I'm just sending with the microphone, as we can see now. And then we also have the speakers. So the speakers, I could be using the default one, or I can just select from here my audio interface, which is this one. So I can just check speakers, and you should be able to listen what I'm listening now. It's like a piano, just to make sure that everything is working. So as soon as this is done, I can click complete check, and this is gonna show in green. So that means that we have like a proper setup. Same for the students, very, very easy. They don't have to do anything. The app is gonna do everything for themselves. Then after that, this is the main window that we're gonna be looking at. So that's the first camera that I can see here. And then from the bottom, starting from the bottom left, we have the sound settings here. So again, we can also check if the input and the output are correct, as they are at the moment. That's why it's showing in green. We also have the speaker, same thing, which is the audio interface that I'm using. And just below those settings, we have again the check microphone and speaker, the calibrate microphone, which is the same option that we just did. And then we also have noise cancellation, which is going to allow us to remove any kind of background noise, but it's going to do properly for us. So it's going to remove mainly the background, but not the instrument sound. At the moment, as I'm using headphones and microphone, I have it off, but I could turn it on. And pretty similar, the echo cancellation. So if we were using like physical speakers and no headphones, as I'm using right now, we might want to turn it on, this option, just to avoid any feedback. Okay, and then at the very end, we have the volume settings, which is going to allow us control the student microphone or the student overall volume if we want to mix with the metronome or with any other feature from here. Then on the right side, just right from the sound settings, we have the camera. And this is something that I just loved. I think that this is probably, if it's not my favorite, it's one of my favorites, because this is really helping me to engage with the students, like if we were doing like a face-to-face lesson. Because basically what I can do from here, I can make active my phone camera from here like this, so I can start showing like a very close up from my left hand. Let me just minimize this quickly. So yeah, I could use this camera to show my peak, you know, or my left hand, like with the fingering that I might use for some specific exercise. Or what I could do also, I could add up to 3 cameras. I could add the main one as we did before, so I can have both of them. I could even add the third one that I have here just to show probably a little bit close up of my right hand. You know, if I need to show like a very specific angle from my right hand or anything a little bit closer from here, you know, I can still use this one. And then the good thing about this option is that the student can zoom whatever they want. They can zoom this one and just make it bigger, or they could even go to the previous one. So let me go back to the other one. Yeah, this one here, same thing for this one. They can zoom this one, maximize whatever they want. So this is regarding the camera. They can also control the quality of the video, so, and as we can do as well, so we can control the student quality by clicking here if we want to use like a full HD. And we can also use this feature just to reduce the noise from the video. You know, if there is some lack of quality, we can basically reduce the band of the internet just to improve the video quality from here. And then, as we may have from other apps, we have the invite link from here. We can have access to the participant list, which at the moment we will be able only to use 2 participants, so us plus the student. But as Anna and I, we have been told probably from September we will be able to start doing group lessons. So this is something that I've been looking forward since I started. So this is going to be also available to see the students in the near future as well. Then we have the share button here, which is going to be linked with the main features that I was showing you at the beginning with the folder. So from here, we're going to be able, as usual, to share the whole screen with the different apps that we are using, or we're going to be able to share the materials. So the materials is going to be showing us all the files that we previously uploaded to the folder that I showed you at the beginning. So from here, for instance, just to show you an example, we can just load like a neck diagram with core shapes. Here we can point, like for instance, the root nodes or the minor third here, or whatever we need. We're going to be able to show the student straight away within the app. We don't need to open any third-party app, so it's going to be everything located here. And we can swap any other file the same way, so I can just load very quickly the music score. The same way I can start just making some notes from here. If I want to add, for instance, like a text here, I can just write whatever I want here to point out any detail from the music score. And then this can be shared with the student as well, which is very handy. Then from there, let me go back to the app, sorry. Yeah, from here we can stop just to show you the chat window, which is pretty much like other apps. Then we can also record the lesson, or we can record like a very specific exercises, which is very good. That saves me a lot of time, you know, because before that I was spending a lot of time getting ready all the content, you know, after the lesson, sometimes before the lessons. But now this is so interactive that when I'm doing any lesson with the students, they can record the exercise if they like, or I can record whatever I want. So then we can share the files very quickly. And then at the end we have the support chat as well. So this is always accessible from this menu too. Is there any questions so far, or we can go through the other features that I'm going to show you in a bit? Let me just stop sharing for a moment.
Perhaps we should just navigate and see the piano feature.
Yeah.
Or as Monica is a piano teacher, and the sync mode, I think that
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So yeah, just to show you, so we have the additional features which are amazing for the music lessons. So we can open the menu from here in the middle. So from here we're gonna have these three features. I'm gonna go through them very quickly, and then Monica, of course, feel free to ask me any questions. So the first one is the player. So the player basically is gonna allow us to load any file that we may want to play with the student. And the way that we're going to be synchronizing with the audio is going to be by selecting the student side, if we want the student to play along with this backing track or with the audio, or if we're going to be the ones who are going to be playing with the backing track, we just need to select teacher mode. I will show you this in a moment, but I'm going to go through the metronome then, pretty similar with the metronome. So the metronome is going to be also synchronized with the student side or with the teacher side, so we can control anytime from here. We can set it up, the tempo, the volume. You know, if we are playing anything from here, it's going to be sync from here. So you know, so then we have the piano. So the piano, we can of course expand it from here and make it bigger. So this is a really good feature that we have to get the key very quickly, or we are explaining any kind of music theory concept from the app itself. We're going to be able to use this MIDI keyboard. So of course we can use the mouse, you know, as I'm using now, but if we have a MIDI, let me just show you the little mini keyboard that I'm using at the moment. I have this little MIDI keyboard, you know. So if we have a keyboard like this, an external MIDI controller, we're going to be able to set it up very, very easily by clicking here, connect MIDI keyboard button. And again, this is going to do everything for us, you know. We just need to click here, and it's gonna detect the MIDI keyboard straight away. So that means that now if I play the keyboard, it's basically working with the app. And from here also we have the menu where basically we can control the overall volume. For the piano, we can select different sounds from here. We can also use string sounds here, organ sounds as well. We can also control, going back to the piano sound, we can also control the octaves. You know, if we want to do some octave shift, we can just control from here, and then we can control even lower as well. So yeah, we can control pretty much everything as we might need during the lesson. And this is the good thing about this, is that this is all built in within the app, which I really value. We don't have to open any third-party apps that sometimes is affecting the timing, you know, during the lesson. So this is pretty amazing. And last but not least is the player. So going back to the player, I'm going to show you a quick example about what we can do with this feature. We can just load again from the folder that where we have all the files. We can basically upload any audio from here. It could be MP3 as animation or any wave, and from here I can just play a little bit just to show you. So again, from here we're going to be able to use the student side or the teacher side. I'm going to be using now teacher side to be able to synchronize, and I'm going to play a little bit just to show you the audio quality. Yeah, just a little example about what we can do with this. We could even modify the tempo and the key as well within the same player. And this is pretty much all the amazing features that I wanted to show you today. Is there, Monica, any question that you may want to ask?
I think she does have a question, and that was lovely, Carlos.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mainly a singing teacher, and when I teach piano, it's how you call it when people want to learn to accompany themselves on the piano. So I'm not mainly a piano teacher. I just teach people singers to play piano while singing. But what I
Okay.
do, how I teach, I don't work backing tracks. I play everything on the piano. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, and that's a very nice feature. I can connect by MIDI my piano. Well, any modern piano nowadays has MIDI, so that might not be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So when I play on the piano, is my student on the other side, is it on the same timing as me to sing with me when I play? That's my synchronicity question. Or is there
Sure.
going to be a time difference?
Yeah, due to the internet ban, it's gonna be a little latency from the student side if he's using the sync mode, but it's very very little. What I've been doing, because depending the internet connection of each individual, it might be a little bit different. But something that I've been doing is having basically beforehand, before the lesson, all the materials ready. Instead of playing the guitar, what I do normally, I just share as an audio the material with the student while I'm doing the lesson, so they can play alone and I can be more focused with what they are playing, instead of playing live with them, to avoid any kind of lack of latency, from their side. But I've been trying that too, and it works well. The only thing that you might feel some like a milliseconds of latency, depending
But is that better than, is there difference in this with Zoom, or is it the same as Zoom?
is much better. Yeah, it's much better.
Better, so
So
there's less time difference than when I would work with Zoom.
yeah,
It's not the
absolutely.
same
I
platform.
understand that because of course it's easy to record things in advance, but I'm the
Yeah.
kind of person, hey, let's do this part again. I want to hear this part, and then I like to, just play it at that moment, and
Yeah.
so I don't have to play back the whole song because I want to specifically work on a part of that song where a student has, voice problems to reach that certain note, and I want to play it and I want to practice it with the student, which is
Yeah.
very difficult in Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you know, there are so many different to approach online lessons. I've been doing the same kind of back and forth with the student while I've been using Moose, and it works very well. But of course, I want to be very, very honest because I'm very perfectionist person, and I will be telling the truth if I will be saying to you that it's completely like a synchronized, like if we were in the same room.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we are working on that with the engineers, developing some new features or the way that where we can basically canceling this lack of latency, as we are doing already with the sync mode. I think that probably in the future there will be something available for sure, because with all these new features, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be something pretty, I don't know if it's going to be pretty soon, but in the future, I'm completely 100% sure that something is going to be offered, in this regards. But in the meantime, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to use it, even though there's going to be some kind of latency, a little bit of latency from the student side or from your side. But the good thing is that you're going to be able to choose the sync mode. So for instance, if you are doing a specific exercise with the student, you will be also always able to use the metronome, so they can sing the part and you're going to be able to listen to them synchronize with what they are singing or what they are playing with the metronome. Same thing if they are using the piano. So if they are using the piano, probably you might notice some latency if both of you are playing together, but if they are playing first and then you are playing second or the opposite, both of you are going to be able to listen properly, in the sync mode. The only difference that if you don't change the button, and you are using, for instance, the student side, and you start playing, that correction that happens in real time from the app is not going to happen for you. You just need to switch to the teacher mode. But as I mentioned, is very tiny. Depending the connection. I've been using with Wi-Fi and also with cable straight to plug to the router. And if you use the cable, of course, that latency is even smaller, so depending the Wi-Fi.
I was just going to ask because, as you might know, in Spain a lot of people are working with Starlink. Well,
yes.
I have not switched to Starlink yet. I'm still working on a let's say normal, because in Spain it depends on
the area.
I mean, in Holland you use any provider, but in Spain it's like which provider you cannot choose. You have to see, especially when you live in a mountain area. You have to see which provider can connect you. But as I understood, Starlink is always possible, but I didn't jump to Starlink as yet. Do you have any experience with working with Starlink with this program? Or do you know someone who is working with Starlink? It will be interesting to hear about that.
But the Starlink, do you mean the company, the internet company, or?
From Elon Musk.
Sorry?
From the internet from Elon Musk, the satellite connection.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's quite popular in Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, what I would recommend you will be to run a speed test, which is gonna give you the speed of the internet from you and from the student, and by any means, if the speed is good enough, you shouldn't have any problem at all. It's about the consistency. The main difference between the Wi-Fi and the cable is that when people are using the Wi-Fi, the speed might drop a little bit sometimes. It's not like a consistent connection all the time. It might drop to like a 10 megabytes, or it goes up a little bit higher depending how many people are using the same band. With the cable, is going to be consistent, because the cable is going to deliver the same speed all the time, and this is what contracts, from different providers are going to be mentioning, but the Wi-Fi might change a little bit, so I always recommend for sure to use the cable if people have the chance to use the cable straight to plug it to the router. If they don't have the option, Wi-Fi.
For student and teacher the cable, or both, I guess.
I mean, if I'm not using cable at the moment because the connection that I have here is pretty good, and I didn't have any problem at all. The main thing is that as Anna and I we were discussing some time ago is that normally what people are not aware about sometimes, when they are using Wi-Fi, is that the internet connection is going to have two different values. It's going to have the download, which is going to be basically all the information that the person is receiving from internet. Could be your video, your audio, everything coming from internet, and the upload speed. So the upload speed is going to be affecting anything that we may want to share with other people. Could be like the teacher, or if we are uploading a file to the cloud, that's going to be affected by the upload speed, the upload. So when you run the test, the speed test, you could try with any provider, any popular provider on internet is going to show you the speed. You're going to see that normally the download is going to be a little bit faster, because this is what people use the most. We are consuming data, and normally when you have the internet contract, you will see that they're going to promise you some certain speed, but that speed is going to be probably more accurate when you are using the cable, the RJ45 cable. If you are using the Wi-Fi, it's still good, probably it's going to be good enough, but you may experience some drop on the upload speed, but it shouldn't be a problem. I really I can promise you that I've been using Moose for almost a year already, like a very consistency, because before at the beginning I was still testing, with other apps. I've been receiving like a really, really positive feedback from the students, They don't report any lack of quality from my side, and I'm using Wi-Fi. And the good thing about this video feature that I showed you before is that I didn't found this feature before. Let me share quickly just to show you one more time. This is something that if you experience any issue with the student, you can always control this. So if we go back, let me just close this one. Let me close this one too. So yeah, going back here, you're gonna have this quality option here. So for instance, if the student doesn't have like a proper quality video, you can basically reduce the quality from their side. So that's gonna allow you to listen and to see them a little bit better with more consistency, because of course if they are trying to use full HD and they don't have like a proper Wi-Fi connection, they might be some kind of pixel, or some lack of quality for the video, but we can always control it from here, So that's very handy as well, because in real time you can control everything from the video and also from the audio, And for me, it's not a big deal to be able to play live, at the moment, because even when we are doing, it's still working very well. It's not like at the moment, like if we were playing in real time, at the same place, but it's good enough, to play with a very little latency for them. They don't notice. Probably the students, if they are not very familiar with the recordings, and all this stuff, they won't notice anything at all, to be honest.
What does the student mostly work with when you teach? Do they have a computer or an iPad, or do they work on their phone? Or
yeah, sure, that's a really good question. So I'm using the computer, but my students are, it depends, they may use, some of them they are using iPads, mainly iPads and computers, to be honest, because the video quality and the image is like a proper size. They can still use the iPhone. That wouldn't be a problem. That would be even better for them if they have a bad connection, because the band of internet is gonna require a little bit less speed. But as they have been using iPad and computer, it's been working very well for me and for them.
Yeah, it's just one thing that
I have a lot of questions. I'm sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, please. You can ask us anything.
Yeah. Sorry, so many questions, but
No, not at all.
Are we students required to work in a headphone? No,
Say it again?
Students don't have to wear a headphone when they when you're working with them?
No, it's not necessary. They could use only just the speaker device if they want. Of course, as my students, they don't use headphones at all. They just use the app with the device. They also use the built-in mic from the device, and it's working very, very well. Of course, for me, it's different, because as a teacher, I just want to offer the best quality possible. That's why I'm using the mic with a preamp and a proper audio interface. But for the students, it's not going to be required at all. The funny thing that you said, that I have to say though, that some of my students, as they are enjoying very, very much the lessons, they are starting investing a little bit to buy a better camera, or some of them, they also bought like a proper audio interface to be able also to send me the best quality possible from their instruments as well, But as you know, this is so personal, and probably it's not gonna be, or I don't know, maybe instead of spending money on more instruments, they can invest in better equipment just to have like a very experience from the online lessons, But for me, it's been working very well with most of them, because it's so easy to set it up. I was wasting a lot of time at the beginning before with other apps, trying to help them to set it up, the app, whether now with Moose, they just do it in a few seconds. You know, it's pretty straightforward because the app does everything for them automatically. They just need to click on the options, and as the app is analyzing the device that they are using, it's gonna be taking properly the input source and the output source as the camera as well.
Okay. I have more questions, but I don't have to ask them all now. But
If you have any more questions, please let us know. That's all right.
Sure.
okay.
And you can also book a free like personal walkthrough later, because that's offered for all attendees from the webinar. So you can also request this later as well if you want to, but you can ask us now anything you want to.
I didn't hear what you said. I can request what?
So you can request a personal walkthrough of the platform
Oh,
where I'll show you everything how it works, like in real time using the app. Because now we are
yeah.
using Zoom because Moose doesn't support group lessons, right? But later for the attendees from the webinar, so you can request this personal walkthrough, and please feel free to ask us anything now. Okay, that's okay.
What I also do during a lesson is I record with Logic. I do like studio recordings, so students go home with a quite professional recording of any song they choose.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice actually. It's like being in a studio, and I have like a very professional microphone. But I was thinking, and I know that there's even a way with Logic to do that, but it's very, very complicated. So I'm looking for a program that I can press the buttons, or I mean, I can, because Logic is a very difficult program to work with if you don't know it. So I would be the one.
I can show you. I can
Okay.
show you what I'm using
Yeah.
at the moment if you like. I'm also doing like a music production lessons with Logic and Pro Tools. But the easiest way that I found to do what you just mentioned is by using an app called Loopback. Let me share the screen and I'm going to show you how I'm using it. So basically what I do, let me see if I can, okay, let me share the whole screen and I'm going to show you everything. So yeah, this is the app that I'm using at the moment to be able to send, or I could even record what I'm just sending to you in terms of audio. So I have active all these apps, you know, as you can see, I have my guitar. Yeah, this is another player that sometimes I use. This is the app that I'm using for the guitar sound. So that's why we can see the fader moving. This is basically different apps that I use. Also the Google Chrome, if for instance, if you want to use a backing track from YouTube, I can show you very quickly how I use this. Normally you can go to YouTube and let's see that we want to play some backing track from here, you know, like piano backing track. Let's see, D minor, for instance, right? So what I do normally is that if I'm playing, yeah, it could be piano or any other instrument. This one, for instance, this one. So let me skip this. So at the moment, this app allows me to send the same audio that I'm listening from my computer. So this is something that I can basically mix with all my apps, you know. At the moment we are hearing this, and if I go to the Loopback app, you can see how the faders move from Google Chrome. So that means that you are receiving everything mixed with my mic and the backing track. And if I wanted to play guitar on top of that, I could do so by doing this. So I'm playing at the moment guitar, you know, so that's very, very handy, because what I could do, I can basically, and I'm going to show you how it works. So let's see that we have the Moose app here, right? And I just want to record a few bars while I'm playing this for the students. So I can go here, set it up my camera with the close-up that I want to use. And then from here, I just need to make sure that I'm going to click record, you know, so I can select the quality from here. I'm going to choose Full HD, of course. So now I'm recording already. So I go to Google, you know, let's see that we want to use this backing track instead of other backing track that we previously uploaded on the app. So all this is being recorded already, plus my guitar. So I'm gonna go here. Okay, so then I can stop here. Then let me stop just for a moment the backing track here. So I can go here very, very quickly and then click yes, save recording. This is gonna open my computer folder, you know, or the hard drive. So then I can select, for instance, the desktop here. I'm gonna say like demo. So now the moment I'm exporting this recording, later on, if I want to share with the student, I'm gonna be able to do so. And then from here, as you can hear, if I play this quickly, let me go to another app, like the Quick Player, for instance. So I can go here, and then just to be able to hear what I just recorded, let me add here the Quick Player. So I'm gonna be able to send you the same audio, and here we go. We have the video. So this is a setup that I use for everything, you know. I could use for Logic, for Pro Tools, for any other app that I just want to record, you know. And then thanks to Moose, then I can record everything mixed, you know, and then later on I can share with the student. That's what I meant when I was mentioning that I just save a lot of time, you know, at the moment, because I don't have to spend more time later on getting everything ready for the content, you know. After every lesson, I can just do while I'm doing the lesson with the student, and that's very, very handy. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yes, a huge part. Only thing is now you were playing and you were starting the recording, but with Logic, I would start the recording because the student doesn't have Logic.
Yeah.
So would that students then sing in sync with the Logic accompaniment? You understand my question?
Yes, but what kind of content would you share from Logic? Would you share like a backing track as well, or?
Yeah, maybe I would put a piano with accompaniment in it, and maybe let's say there's this one line which the student has to, you know, singing a little bit off key, so they have to repeat. So I cut it out, and they have to do it maybe 10 times again, like reality.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to do that, what you could do, you could share with this app that I show you before. It's called Loopback. So from this one, basically from this app, you're gonna be able to create like a virtual devices. You know, where basically it's gonna be like an audio interface, but it's gonna be a virtual one. You know, instead of having like a physical one with all the connections, all the inputs and outputs. So, for instance, if you want to share the audio sync from here, what I would do, I will add Logic here. You know, I can add Logic if I want to.
Okay.
From here,
I
you
think
know, I
okay.
can, yeah, I can add Logic here. You know, so that way, by adding Logic, anything that you may play from Logic, the student is gonna receive it in sync mode.
That's
You know, because
what I mean.
because
Okay.
okay, so if I wanted to play something now from Logic, it's gonna work pretty similar way. So basically, as you know,
Okay.
what we are trying to avoid here by using Moose is that we wouldn't need to use all the third-party apps, but we still can do it. You know, so instead of loading from Logic, I can just load it from here from Moose. You know, and use the player, which is gonna be my kind of personal Logic with very little features, but good enough to play a backing track for the student, and then they will be able to play in sync with this backing track. But if you want to do it with Logic, it could be the same thing. The only difference is that your mic, your virtual mic, is going to be now the source of everything that you are sending to the student, like I'm using now. So from here, as you can see, thanks to this app, this is my input. All these apps that we can see at the moment is going through my input, and then from here, you know, I'm sending everything through the output signal. So this is what you are listening at the moment. But I can play anything from any of those apps, and you could be able to play along with it. You know, like if I'm playing some rhythm, you know, I could play something like this. So same thing, you know, for the student, if I want them to play along with me, I just need to select this, you know, so that way I can actually activate the metronome. So if I'm playing along with the metronome in the sync mode, you know, they're gonna be able to record, you know, because they could even record my playing, you know, what I'm playing, because they're gonna have also these features, the record mode, the chat, the share, everything, and then they can take a few takes, you know, they could record a few times, you know, the same exercise for you to see later on, or you could do it for them, you know. But this is going to be available anytime, you know. You could either use Logic or any other third part, but for sure you could do it.
Is Loopback free? Loopback?
Loopback? No, I'm afraid it's not, but it's the best one that I could try. You know, it really works, especially if you are using like a very complex setups as I'm using. I mean, not very complex, but more kind of sophisticated. You know, let's say that you want to use like a third-party apps, could be Logic, Pro Tools. I can use any other app from here, you know, to be able to.
It's something. It's not connected to Moose. You have to.
It's connected to it's connected to Moose, because what I do here, just to show you quickly, when I open Moose,
I have to purchase that individually to use it.
Yeah, no, it's not related.
I'm afraid so, because it's a different company. It's nothing to do with Moose.
No. Yeah, that was my question. Okay.
Yeah, but just to show you from here, I could use the built-in microphone, which could be the one coming from the computer, or even from the phone. I could select my phone microphone. But what I'm using now is this one that is called a Guitar Lesson, as you can see here, you know. So this Guitar Lesson virtual interface is acting as a mic, you know, but this is the one that I created on Loopback, because I could name it as I wanted, you know. I could even name it as, instead of Guitar Lesson, I could name it as Moose, you know, Moose Lesson. I could go here and type Moose. So then if I restart Moose now, just to show you how it works, let me just close it and open it again. Moose is going to be able to detect this input, you know, to be able to use with third-party apps. So let me go here, Moose, start lesson. So as soon as I start lesson now, can you see now that it's showing Moose lesson virtual?
Yeah.
So that's the one that this is the one that we are looking at here when I open Loopback. But as I said, this is in case you want to use like a third-party apps all the time, you know, but you can do the same thing with Moose. So it's going to be up to you for sure how you want to run the lessons, but I think it's going to be a matter of practice a little bit, you know, from your side, and see how you want to present, you know, the content to the student. But of course you can still record it, and the good thing is that the student is going to be able to record whatever you want him to record, you know, from their side too, you know, so they don't have to have Logic or any other DAW program to be able to record what they are learning during the lesson.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question, or?
Yeah, it would be nice maybe in the future if the program Moose would have like a built-in kind of professional studio program, so
that would be amazing. But to be honest, at the moment, there is nothing like that. And I'm glad that at least I can still use it, this kind of complex and professional setup with Moose by doing this. You know, there are so other apps that you can try on, but this one, Loopback, it really works well for this kind of use. You know, if you are using Logic alone, other apps.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, but just let us know if you have any question and we can go through it, okay?
Is there any, I have one last question. Because now I think many teachers working with Moose, would it be an idea? Because something I really miss as being a teacher is like professional chord charge, and they're just not there. I mean, you have like lyrics with chords, but as a musician, I really need like bars. You know what I mean? Like a chord chart with 4 bars in one line, like lead sheet. And I was wondering, is there like a platform, or maybe it would be an idea to tell the company, because it would be really nice if teachers could share their chord charts with each other, you know, because that would be really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you from my point of view and my experience what I'm using and what I've been using for years. I've been using an app called Guitar Pro, which is actually available for not just for guitarists but for any other music teacher. So the way that it works is that I normally use these two just to show you quickly. But this is something, you know, the good thing about Moose is that all this feedback that we are sharing as a teachers, it's something that they are be looking into it. You know, they are developing a lot of new features, you know, based on our needs. So I really recommend you that any need that you may have, please just share it with the team, you know, but because they are basically investing a lot of money to be able to develop the app up to the point where maybe in the near future we're going to be able to cover all our needs as a music teachers. You know, that's why I really wanted to start using Moose, because I saw that it's managed by real people and they are so involved, you know, with the process, you know. But of course there are like different needs from different people, but I think that we are getting even better this morning. Actually, one of the team member, you know, they mentioned to me that they are developing a tuner for guitarists, you know, and this is going to be probably available in the near future. So I'm pretty sure that as this feature, you know, it's been developing for a few months, probably many others are coming, you know, like the group lessons, you know, the scheduling options that Anna she might mention a bit more a bit later. But just to show you quickly the apps that I'm using for those purposes, you know, the ones that I'm using is this one, but this is specifically for guitarists, you know. So with this one I'm able to create very quickly any diagram or any chord shape, you know. I can just go here. Normally I have my templates. So the way that I use it is that I have these 3 necks here. I can select the first one and I can say, for instance, let's see that we want to use the first one. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So like, just to show a quick example, I can go here and say, okay, let's select the Dorian, for instance. So then I can go here, click the right button here, and then there's an option that says a scale generator here. So then I go here and then select the Dorian mode, and then I select the note for here from here. So I'm gonna select D, finished, and
Well, I work with the Sibelius, so I kind of
Sibelius, amazing.
I'm okay with writing music. It's just that I have a lot of chord charge, and it would be nice if if you could share chord charge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe
Yes.
maybe this accompaniment of whatever. Imagine, and the original key of Imagine is in C, but me as a woman would maybe want to sing it in G, and I just made this beautiful accompaniment in G, and I can share it in a bass that other teachers, I would say, imagine how you call it, a female key in G, and other teachers would use it to share. Maybe it's just an idea that us music teachers can share material. I mean, if that's a your program would be maybe nice. Like
absolutely.
Database for yourself, but also there's a database, but teachers can connect and use each other's material. Then yeah.
Absolutely, that's a brilliant idea, and this is something that I'm pretty sure that as everything with Moose has been like a very recent, but I'm pretty sure that everything is going to be evolving in the near future a lot, especially because they are listening to the teachers as us, but just to show you, like this app, for instance, I would love to have all these features, but of course, this probably involves a lot of developing, undergoing through the app. But for just to show you quickly from here, I have all these features that you mentioned. I can just change the key. I can go here, and from here I can transpose, the whole song just in one click. I can just transpose chromatically or by semitones or one specific section or all bars, anything from here. I can add or remove any figure, any music figure. I can select different instruments. So, of course, what I would recommend you is that probably you are familiar already with the apps that you are using, and the good news is that they all can be integrated with Moose, as I'm doing at the moment, So all your workflow that you are using at the moment can be completely integrated until we may see more features coming up, But the main thing for me, that is the video quality and the sound quality, which I've been struggling before I was using Moose, is my top priority as a music teacher, because I can still use all these third-party apps for a specific use, or just to show you, this one is quite handy. I use this one sometimes just to play some exercises if I want to play some drum beat with the students, so it's very quickly, I can set it at different tempos, different styles. I can just select like whatever, like anything, and you can hear everything what I'm playing here thanks to Loopback and thanks to Moose. Same thing from here. So this is pretty amazing because Moose also allows to share not just the app from here, as I can show you, but also the sound of the app as well. So this is something that you can do from Moose itself, so you can select, for instance, this one, and by clicking this button here, the share sound, you can do pretty much the same as I'm doing with Loopback, but the main thing is the Loopback allows me to use like a multiple sources. I can select as many as I want from here. Whether in Moose, you are going to be able, at least for now, only to share the audio from one app, But I'm pretty sure that this is going to be growing and growing, and all these features are going to be coming up and getting better and better, and thanks to ideas like yours, or like the ones that I was suggesting at the beginning, I'm pretty sure that I've been experiencing, a lot of developing, since I started, and that's why I can tell you that they are so involved with the development of the app, and I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
is gonna
absolutely.
be getting better and better.
Yeah, because in the beginning, it was just about the sound quality, and then now we have like many, many features, such as the sync mode. I think that one of the greatest features, and such as multi-camera setup. Of
Hmm.
course, there's always something to improve, and that's the point, right? So we are
Absolutely.
doing improvements all the
I
time.
think I'm very interested. It's very nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, very nice. I have no more questions except for it. Is this also something like a business model? Like if you are very happy, can you recommend it to others and get a profit in organization or?
Well, let's see. We can talk about this later. That's something that we can definitely be flexible doing.
Yeah.
And it would be
Abs-
great if you could like recommend more teachers. And we are like a very flexible company. Okay. So that would be great if you go ahead and decide to go use and use Moose. So we can definitely arrange these.
Great. Yeah, it's interesting. So I think I can try it. I want to try it. Yeah, I would like to.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
Mm-hmm.
I
that
will,
Sorry,
yes.
yeah, that's the best advice that I would recommend you. If you have already a few students to be able to organize some online lessons, that would be the best way to try on, with the students to see how they react, how you are getting with the multi-camera option, the sound quality, and then from there we can again just to have a chat as well to see how it's been working for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's definitely worth trying
Hmm.
trying this out. Okay, so this is available on all official apps, so you can check it out like on App Stores, Windows Store. So it's quite easy to find it, and also in our website. So you can also check it out the reviews from the fellow teachers. So we share ideas. So there's a place that we share ideas. We have a Facebook group and a two Facebook groups. I will comment about this in a bit. So we have for today an offer that it is a 48-hour teacher upgrade deal. So you can get the subscription in Moose app for 239. This price is in euro or 215 in pounds. So if you check in the app, the price will be a completely different one. So if you go ahead and check, so this will cost you 289 euro. So it's a very decent discount. So I will be sending the material for you. So Monica, if you could go ahead and drop your email in the chat, that would be great because I can send you over the materials because we have two guides, two very helpful guides. That is how to boost your income and how to find music students without like using marketplaces, So the deal, it is for 48 hours. And here that was about the walkthrough that I mentioned before. So you can have a personal walkthrough of the platform. So it's a place where you can explore the platform in a more detailed way because you will be using the student mode because me, for example, for instance, I will be joining the session as a teacher. So, and you as a student, so you'll be able to see how everything works for your student. And then you can try out using the teachers on the teacher side. So that's very, very cool to test. As Carlos mentioned before, we have the AI assistant. So Mia, it is a assistant where you can get warm-ups like homeworks for your students because this AI was trained specifically for this kind of thing, for this kind of um, purpose. So you can go ahead and check it out. It's quite cool. And in the future, Mia will be able to do scheduling, and you will be able to use the calendar mode as well, integrated with Moon's app. So that's something that we are still developing. Of course, we have like many things developing right now because we don't want to stop like and stay just in our way. We need to bring more and more every time. So we are constantly developing and improving. So I will go ahead and drop the link, the discount link in the chat, so you can have it, because you won't find this link in any other place. So you can have the webinar recording later. And let me go ahead and do this now. Just a second. Let me get the chat. There you go. So this is the link for I put the price in euro. I think that would be better for you. And we have the Facebook community. So it's a place where you can share ideas and, ask anything, because we have like many teachers in the community. So that's nice to have like some networking. So that's pretty cool. So if you have any questions about pricing or anything, feel free to ask us.
Can I go to the Facebook group without having to, because
Yes.
I would like to try the program, but
Yeah.
that amount of money I don't have at this moment. So
Yeah, you can join the Facebook group straight away if you want. Yeah.
So yeah, we have
And
two Facebook groups.
Is that
One
for a
the-
year? Is that the money for a year? Is that
Yeah.
200? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But do you have to pay for a year, or can you pay for a month, for each month?
You could pay monthly. We have a monthly option
Okay.
as well. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you don't have to go straight ahead and book like and commit with the annual
Yeah.
plan. You can try out a bit, or you can even try out the free trial, and then try out, let's say, for a couple of days. And then if you decide to go ahead and take advantage of this offer, you can go ahead and get, because this is the annual plan. So the price will decrease, like it's a
I
reasonable
understand that.
amount. Yeah.
But can I, if I want to say, okay, I want to try for 1 month, is that possible, and pay 1 month, or do I need a year purchase, or
Yeah.
can I?
I
Yeah,
think that
absolutely.
with
Yeah,
you, Anna, she can organize to try for a few days, and then if she wants,
Yeah,
maybe.
absolutely. I will email you and discuss about this, of course.
Okay.
But you can definitely check it out and try. Could you just do you mind to drop your email in the chat, please? So I can
I did.
chat. Oh, you
Yeah,
did. Sorry, I didn't see.
Yeah, it's
I think I missed.
it's
I can't
above
see it.
your.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Monica. Yeah. I can see now. Yeah, so I will be sending you the guides, so you can also schedule your walkthrough, and yeah, you can test it out, and we can chat and see how it works, everything. So yeah, we're quite flexible, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I like that, because a few days is not enough for me. I'm quite slow
Yeah.
with learning.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right.
Vacation. It's also vacation, so a lot of students won't be available right now. So,
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm
you
really
can
interested.
absolutely do.
I mean, I really like it. Thank you for the nice. You're a very good guitar player, Carlos.
Thank you so
Tocas muy
much.
bien.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Carlos is a master.
I'm still learning, as you know. Always learning. Always.
Okay. Yeah. Okay,
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Monica. It
Muito
was
Muchas
lovely
gracias.
having you here with
Lovely,
us.
lovely to
Obrigada.
virtually meet you.
being so patient.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much
Okay.
for joining us. Have a good evening. Take care.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.